Some people just don't know how to let go. Renee implies that Victoria's son is actually Chidi's baby on Threads. As you can see, she came out by saying, "Thank God I was pulled away from an incestuous relationship. The guy and his sister were more like husband and wife, not to mention the perverted weird pictures that she had on his phone. He claimed it's just his sister, but then again, that little boy looks exactly like him. Not to mention the extreme measures that the female took to make sure that I didn't even touch him. Meanwhile, he acted like he wanted me to be with me. He acted like he wanted to be with me. What an embarrassment." I mean, listen, first and foremost, I believe the only thing that's an embarrassment is the fact that you can't let go. Sometimes in life, you have to just take your wins and your losses. In this situation, you can argue that it was neither a win or a loss. You can just argue and say that it just simply was not meant to be. You both come from two different worlds, and sadly, you could not bring your worlds together. That's what you could say. I mean, listen, in life, we're going to come across many people that we are going to attempt to either be in a friendship with, or sometimes even be in a relationship with. And sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's going to work for a short period of time. Sometimes it's going to work for a long period of time. And sometimes it just has to come to an end. But the fact is, the only thing that matters is what do we learn from that experience with those people that we either chose to be friends with or we chose to actually be in a relationship with. But walking away and being bitter and being petty and feeling the need to always have to speak about this person every single time you feel you have an option to do so, or just because you wake up one day feeling resentful and you think, you know what, let me just tweet something, let me just write something on Thread real quick, just because it's on my chest and I just want to let it out because this person is still on my mind and I just want to take them down. I mean, honestly, where is the benefit from that? Where is the honest benefit from that? Oh yeah, there isn't. So the moral of the story is this, ladies and gentlemen. I would like you to hopefully just bear this in mind. If you are ever in a relationship with someone, whether that is romantically or in a friendship way, if that relationship ends up coming to an end, do not sit there and be bitter. Do not sit there and beat yourself up. Do not sit there and blame that person. Just sit there and be like, you know what? I had my experience with this person, both good and bad. Now, what can I learn and take away from these experiences that were both good and bad to help progress me and myself for my next adventures in life, whether those ventures will actually involve forming other relationships or just involves you understanding just more about yourself, the things that you can and cannot tolerate. I mean, we live in the world, there's a lot of people don't even know or unaware of what they can and cannot tolerate, so therefore they will live in the cycle of meeting the same person time and time again. It may not be the same person, but it's somebody you're meeting who has the same literal vibe, the same energy, the same, mentality as the person before. And then that's how you end up living in that cycle. And then all of a sudden you're one of these people on the internet making a podcast talking about how men ain't shit or how women ain't shit or whatever it could be, when in reality we're just not paying attention to our own behavior that keeps bringing us to these people in our lives that seem to keep breaking our heart or seem to keep annoying us the same way or a similar way than the person before. It doesn't mean that all people of that kind are like that. It just means that you keep picking the same people because you haven't learned from the previous situation. So it's important to always learn what people did before to make you happy, and also learn what people did before to make you unhappy. And those things that people did before to make you unhappy, you add them to your morals and it helps you understand what you want moving forward from any relationship. And also, most importantly, it can also help you understand on how you want to raise your kids as well. What you want to not protect them from, but kind of try and build them to be strong enough to be able to handle at some point in life, because we can't protect our children, to be honest. We can in so many ways, but there's certain things that we can't. And what we can't do is necessarily protect who they will meet later on in life when they're out there spreading their wings. But what we can do is hopefully pass on and give them the right tools of how they can, defend themselves or how they can avoid such situation. Okay, building morals into them. But nonetheless, though, we got someone like a Renee here who definitely does not have that mentality. The fact that her name is Renee, I don't know what the one's about, but the fact that it ends with still standing is quite embarrassing. Still standing from what? What are you trying to prove? You're still standing. Okay, whoop to do. Did you want a medal for that? Well done. Congratulations. But then again, at the same time, though, that still standing could come from a place that actually has some sentiment that has a good strength behind it. So, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't criticize it because it may actually have real value behind it. But either way, the matter of fact is that this woman needs to move on. You know, talk about thank God. No, you need to move on. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Because I don't think she understands what kind of role model that she's being for her children. She probably thinks that she's being a great role model for her children, when in reality, there's a good chance that she probably, well, when in reality, there's a 50-50 chance that she's not been a good role model for those kids, and she probably truly believes that she is. Because what adult, what parent goes online, continuously talking about another person? Just imagine when your kids go through certain things, they're going to do the same thing. That is called weak, lame ass behavior. Well, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And it is the thing is, let's not forget, this is somebody that has also come up other posts in the past to obviously speak ill of Chidi, whether that's making comments that have then been pretty much racial comments. There's comments she's made that have definitely made people think, oh, this woman is racist as hell. Hey, she seems to not care about what comes out of her mouth, because she believes whatever comes out of her mouth is the right thing to come out of her mouth. Because she believes that God is giving her the reasons or the purposes or allowing her to behave the way she behaves. Because if she does wrong, God will fix it. That's the mentality that she has. But hey ho, hey ho, hey ho. Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.